What's up, Zombie Talk 123? I was watching the ESPN game. Sadly, I have to start school tomorrow, and I'm pretty depressed about that. And then so I'm watching the game, and then I see, oh, Jim Thome hits his 599th home run, and then they're gonna have live of the his next at bat, and then my sister switches the channel, and then I go on my computer a little later, and I see Jim Thome reaches 600. And I was like, are you kidding me? I would have seen that last at bat, I would have seen it live, and pretty sure it was on the first pitch. So, first of all, congrats to Jim Thome. This is a huge, just a huge milestone. He becomes the 8th player in history of Major League Baseball to reach 600, and he is the 5th player to do it without using steroids. Um, Now, there's always speculation with players that have hit a ton of home runs, but I believe that Jim Thome did not use steroids. He's huge, he's super strong, he's just a monster. And he has a lot of talent, obviously, and he plays the game the right way, and he's had a very successful career and a very great career. He's played with a few different teams, and this is his 20th year playing. He didn't play that much in 1991, but this is his 20th year playing in the big leagues. So, congrats to Jim Thome. He's had a lot of injury-plagued seasons, but to get 600 2011, I think it's August 14th, 15th today, um, it's just a huge deal. And he might become number 5 on the all-time list. Um, because on the 600 club, there's 8 members now that Jim Thome joins it. But there's also Alex Rodriguez is a member. He's confirmed steroids. Sammy Sosa is a member, confirmed steroids, and Barry Bonds. So if you take those 3 guys out of the picture, Jim Thome is number 5, which is amazing. It's very historic, and I wish I would have seen it live. But it's huge news. And I just want to say congrats to Jim Thome on a very successful, great career, on reaching 600. It's just a great thing for baseball to see. Last year, the last person to hit 600 was Alex Rodriguez. And so, we've been lucky this last few years to see some milestones with Randy Johnson's 300. And, you see a few 300 clubs, and, these things don't happen all the time. You see Derek Jeter 3,000 hits, and you see another 600 club, and, it's just, it's a very special moment for Jim Thome and his family and all the fans of the Minnesota Twins and the Chicago White Sox and the Philadelphia Phillies and the Cleveland Indians. To be able to see Jim Thome and now reach 600 home runs is just a great thing. So I'm going to go down some career numbers for him. The most home runs he has hit in a season, he did it with Cleveland, 52 home runs, 118 RBIs. Again, this is his 20th year. He's played with Los Angeles Dodgers, 2009. He played 17 games. Yep, 17 games, only 17 plate appearances. He played 2010 with Minnesota, 2011 with Minnesota, and then he played 09, 08, 07, 06 with the White Sox, 05, 04, 03, 02, 01. Excuse me, 05, 04, 03 with the Philadelphia Phillies, and then Ryan Howard was brought up, and he just put up great numbers in the time that he was there, and the minimal games that he played that year, and he had like 22 home runs in a pretty small portion of games, and so they were able to trade away Jim Thome to the White Sox then. And then you got all these years with Cleveland. You have 1991 to 2002, so about 10 years, a little more, with Cleveland. So it's just this guy's had a great career. His career lines, I'm going to just read them off real quick. 277, 600 home runs, and they don't have the updated RBIs, but I believe he had 5 RBIs tonight, so that brings him to 1,662, if that's right, of course. But again, just a huge deal for baseball. Great to see another guy in the 600 club. He's had a great career. Of course, people are always going to speculate about steroids, but I think this is a pure hitter. Obviously, it's a no-doubter with Hammer and Hank, and obviously a no-doubter with Ken Griffey Jr., and I think this is a no-doubter with Jim Thome. It's nice to see a pure, really good, powerful baseball player to hit 600, and we'll see how much farther he goes from there. Again, he's had a lot of seasons just like cut in half from injuries, and even this year. And but to reach 600, I think is very special for him tonight. Um, and it's been a really interesting night. The Detroit Tigers versus the Minnesota Twins. They are AL Central rivals in the same division, and many thought that they would be battling it out. And if you would have gone before the season had started, I think no one would predict that Delman Young would be traded to the Detroit Tigers in the middle of a season because they would assume that Minnesota would be contending and Delman Young would be playing really good. Um, and then the funny thing is they're playing each other the day that the deal gets done. And Delman Young hits a home run in his first plate appearance against his former team. So, very interesting there. And then for Jim Thome to obviously hit that 600th home run later that game, it would have been a really fun game to watch. I'm very mad that I missed that at bat. Again, if I had been watching ESPN, I wouldn't have missed it. But it's just many times when you see those ESPN things where they pop up. I remember the Barry Bonds thing. Everyone was looking at that. I remember watching that, and there's so many plate appearances where the chances of him hitting a home run in every plate appearance is pretty small. And then Jim Thome to hit 599, who he hadn't hit a home run for a while before that one, and then the next at bat, I believe I forgot. Sorry for not mentioning. I believe he was facing. Let me check here real quick. He was facing Daniel. I'm sorry about the name. Schlereth. I'll just keep it at that. I'm always bad with pronouncing names. I probably should, find a way to pronounce them before I make the video. But, I just felt like, the part about the most important part of this is that Jim Thome hit 600. That's a special night for him to hit 2 home runs in one night and to help his team win versus the Detroit Tigers. I think is a really big thing for Jim Thome to come in there and hit his 600. So. Great win for the Twins. Obviously, going to be celebrating tonight, and a great night for Jim Thome, celebrating number 600, 8th player in history, and the 5th player in history that's actually clean steroid-wise, hitting 600. So a great deal for Jim Thome. I mean, a great day for Jim Thome, and a great day for baseball. So 600. He now joins the club. Jim Thome. Thanks for watching. MLB Talk 123.